This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by HostGator. Coming up on Destructoid, Zynga's been caught stealing again, Mega Man is back in a fat suit, and Terra has tried to learn Photoshop. All that and more on the Destructoid Show.
Welcome to Destructoid. I'm Tara Long.
And I'm Max Scoville.
Happy Monday, Max.
Happy Monday, Tara.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
I don't feel so good.
I'm sorry, Tara.
I'm still a little bit sick.
Yeah.
But I'm in high spirits for today. Thank you for building up my Photoshop now.
Yeah.
No pressure or
I'm a
anything, you guys. I made
supportive
one
coworker.
Photoshop for today's show.
I didn't write that. Zach wrote that.
Yeah.
I was busy writing about toys. We got some news about toys, too.
It's going to be exciting, I assure you. So let's hop into it, shall we? Mm-hmm. Now, in last week's show, Max and I talked a little bit about Dream Heights, which is the Zynga game that completely ripped off Tiny Towers, the first game from indie studio Nimblebit. Now, when Nimblebit discovered they'd been ripped off by Zynga, they responded by posting some side-by-side comparisons of the two games on Reddit, and of course the internet took care of the rest. Well, wouldn't you know, another infographic surfaced just a couple days ago showing some striking similarities between Zynga Bingo and another game by indie dev Buffalo Studios called Bingo Blitz. It reads, and I quote, "Hello Zynga, we are moved that your new game was so inspired by our innovative product Bingo Blitz. Bingo Blitz has been growing throughout the past year and has obviously earned the attention of titanic forces in the industry." Look how similar those are, little treasure chest. "You've obviously played our game Bingo Blitz a lot, along with over 1 million other daily active users. Please tell your thousands of employees and shareholders that we hope they enjoy playing the games we're cooking up next. Sincerely, The Herd," and the rest of the indie world. P.S. As you can see, Nimblebit inspires us too. So if you're keeping track, that is now twice in 1 week that Zynga's managed to piss off the entirety of the online gaming community, most of whom probably didn't even know that 6 months ago, Zynga sued the Brazilian startup Vostu because their game, Mega City, looked a little too similar to Zynga's popular game, Cityville. Okay, granted, those are pretty much exactly the same. Still, even better, during that whole fiasco, Zynga's general counsel, Reggie Davis, was quoted as saying, "We welcome Vostu into the arena of social games, but blatant infringement of our creative works is not an acceptable business strategy. It is a violation of the law."
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
right, Reggie. Like
Oh,
anyone
man.
ever made $7 billion by being original and innovative. In fact, you know what, Zynga? Here, I'll give you guys a freebie just to get you started. It's a game where you shoot holes in the wall with a special gun, and then you walk through them.
Okay.
I call it Hole in the Wall. You see,
Oh.
it's great because not only are you ripping off 2 game franchises for the price of 1, you can be sure that nobody's played the original. I mean, Portal, really? Who played that? Come on.
Wow.
It's literally the perfect crime.
You know what, Tara? Crime is a perfect way to make money.
It really does
As Zynga
pay.
has taught us.
It does.
I love that everyone's trying to crack down on piracy and Zynga's just over in the corner like rubbing its dick
Yeah,
and stealing
just stroking.
things. Just
Just
being there like a
stroking.
big like horrible villain from
Yep.
some kind of
You
cartoon.
guys can have that one, Zynga. That's
Okay.
yours.
So our next story is a couple of days old, but it is awesome enough that it bears repeating. Capcom announced on Thursday that a few new characters will be making exclusive appearances in the PS3 and Vita versions of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. For starters, there's Pac-Man, you know, Namco's classic little character, who's going to be riding around in a large suit of Mokujin, who is the training dummy made from a 2,000-year-old oak tree from Tekken 3. But you already knew that, didn't you? Of
course.
So that's Pac-Man. You know, he's kind of a goofy addition to a game that features mostly realistic characters. But the real standout winner of these crazy characters they're throwing in is Mega Man. The Mega Man that Capcom has decided to include in the game is not the fan favorite Mega Man that everyone knows and loves, or even the Blue Bomber as he appears in Mega Man Legends or Mega Man X. No, my friends, this is bad box art Mega Man. If you've never had the misfortune of laying eyes upon the hideous box art for the original Mega Man NES game, allow me to ruin your day. Yes, folks, this is the Mega Man that is going to be in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. He is a filthy, overweight man in a busted-ass helmet, and he has a laser gun. Now, as you'd expect, because the internet doesn't have a sense of humor, the Mega Man fan community is bitching about this, but I've got to give props to Capcom for doing this, because one of my favorite things, hands down, about fighting games is how completely batshit ridiculous they are. They are pretty much fan fiction, the video games. You know? I mean, you've got, you know, Ezio and Yoda and shit like that in Soul Calibur, and they're just like, you know what? Let's throw in washed up, fat, crappy Mega Man for a change. And yeah, they just sold me. That's
He looks kind of like a fat Jonathan Holmes.
Yeah.
A little bit, like in the face.
You're just saying that because Jonathan Holmes is like, oh boy.
Honestly, they're just
Mega
two
Man.
white dudes. They all
Yeah.
look the same to me.
But yeah, that's coming along. That'll be out early March.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I can see why the internet's mad about that. You know, they don't like it when characters
Fuck 'em.
change their appearances, but
I love
whatever.
it. I think it's great. I think it's funny.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
So.
So moving on, to go along with our new releases video, which you all surely watched this morning and studied and memorized, we've got a slew of other exciting announcements today, starting with a sort of announcement of Ace Attorney 5. Yay, yay. Okay, I should clarify actually. We definitely know there's going to be a Japanese Ace Attorney 5, which Famitsu reported yesterday. Unfortunately, Capcom hasn't provided any details for a stateside version just yet. But if history is any indication, we know it'll be coming, and it's probably safe to assume it'll be on the 3DS. Meanwhile, Capcom has promised HD remakes of all 3 of the first Ace Attorney games on iOS, with Android versions planned to follow, so you can catch up while you're waiting for the new one if you haven't played the originals. Now, if interactive litigation isn't your idea of fun, then perhaps some monster hunting might strike your fancy, sir?
Monster hunting.
A Sony official has confirmed that a Monster Hunter title will be headed to the Vita sometime this year, adding that had it come out as a launch title for the Vita, it would have significantly boosted sales of the system in Japan. I really wanted to make a snarky comment here, but seeing as how popular the Monster Hunter franchise is in Japan, I don't think anybody can really argue with this. They would have sold like 5 million Vitas.
Yeah, they would have had some ridiculous ass name for it, where Monster Hunter 3 Try Freedom Plus.
Yeah, it'd be like
mobile.
10 letters or 10 words long,
Yeah.
and nobody would be able to pronounce it. So last on the list of exciting announcements this week is the announcement of an upcoming announcement, courtesy of Square Enix. Tetsuya Nomura, producer of both the Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts series, told Famitsu magazine recently that we could expect to see another Square Enix title sometime later this year. He said also in the interview, there is also a secret team working on an unannounced title, so there is a chance that some information about that will be announced this year too. Please continue looking forward to these announcements.
Wow.
So there you have it, an announcement of an announcement of an announcement.
Wow.
If you'll excuse me, I'm going to go douse my eyes in bleach now. Thank you.
I wouldn't douse your eyes in bleach. I would just take a nap because he didn't say anything interesting at all.
I can't stand
and I
all
wanna
this
go to sleep.
non-news news, and
Yeah.
here I'm just perpetuating it by reporting
Breaking
it. But
news.
Damn it,
It's
I'm
a
curious.
slow news day. I mean, it's going to be interesting, whatever the hell it is.
I'm
But it's
sure
just
it will be.
that's not an announcement.
Yeah.
That's like busy work. That's like, oh, I was writing something. Fuck it. So I told you guys how much I love action figures, right? Well, I do, and I'm also balls deep in the Metal Gear series
you
right now.
tell me that every single day.
I love toys. They're awesome. Well, imagine how happy I was to see 2 new Metal Gear Solid action figures on the front page of Destructoid this morning. These photos of Meryl Silverberg and Solidus Snake popped up online. The Solidus is an unpainted prototype for the time being, and Meryl is painted, but you can get a good idea of how these are going to look when they are finished and packaged. These are both from the PlayArts Kai series, which is a fancy line of action figures produced by Square Enix. They're not the first Metal Gear toys in the series. There were some Peace Walker ones, and there's also an MGS1 Solid Snake and Gray Fox that are coming out very soon, and that's fun because, you know, Cyborg Ninja, what's not to like? Solidus and Meryl are scheduled for a release sometime towards the end of this year, and there's no price yet, but the PlayArts figures are usually around 30 or 40 bucks a pop. They've been made for Final Fantasy, Street Fighter, Halo, Deus Ex, Bayonetta, and they've got some Batman Arkham Asylum and Uncharted figures in the works. So if you're looking for something fancy to put in your room that'll scare off girls, this really isn't a bad place to start. Now, the International Toy Fair trade show is coming up in a couple of weeks, and while I won't be able to cover it in person, I try to read up on it every year. And I want to know, do you guys have any interest in a rundown of what kind of video game toys are coming out this year, or is that just like dumb kid shit for man babies like me? Please let me know in the comments, and I will.
I'm going to go
react
with number
accordingly.
2 in that list.
Yeah?
I'm not that into action figures.
I know. Look at you.
I'm sorry.
Look at you.
I'm a woman. I
You're
wasn't
a-
even into
you're a-
dolls as a kid. I played with horses,
Yeah.
which was
well,
weird.
when they start making horse action figures, then
I'll be the first to be on that
yeah,
shit.
go pre-order those
Yes.
really fancy horse action figures that are ultra detailed. I'll be over
they
here.
neigh in real life.
Tara, why
Okay,
don't we
let's
take a
thank
word
our
from our
sponsor
sponsor?
and then back to more show. HostGator can get your blog or website up and running in just minutes. With plans starting at only $3.96 a month, you get 24/7 support and access to website building tools with over 4,000 templates. And if you've already got a website, they'll even migrate your current one for free. HostGator servers are 130% powered by wind energy. Not to mention they offer unlimited disk space and bandwidth, a 45-day money-back guarantee, and a $100 Google AdWords credit to market your site. For Revision 3 viewers, HostGator is offering 25% off your order, or your first month free. Just go to www.hostgator.com and enter the code Destructoid at checkout. It's always nice to support the show, you know, so we can
Also, wind
be
energy.
here.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
also 130%.
We still don't know how that works,
yeah,
but it's
I have
awesome.
no idea how that works, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, that is all we have for you guys today in terms of video game news. But quick reminder before we go, this Friday, Max, we're going to be doing our first ever live taping of the Destructoid Show in front of a real human audience, not cyborgs that we just pay to be here. It's going to be at the Vita Hill Social Club here in San Francisco, and we want all of you in the Bay Area to come out and join us. Oh, it'll be so much fun. A bunch of hosts from other Revision 3 shows are going to be there, like Techzilla, App Judgment, and New Challenger. So you can meet and greet and chat with them if you want, and get Anthony to sign your tits or something.
Yeah.
You can also get hands-on with some of the Vita's launch titles a couple weeks before launch, which is super exciting.
If you haven't played the Vita, you need to play the Vita because it's a very neat thing.
I actually haven't even played it yet except for at E3, so I've only tried out a couple games. But
Terra.
I'm excited. I'll be doing that there. Admission is totally free and doors will open at 3 p.m. The taping will begin at 4 instead of our usual 3:30 live show time. So if you can't make it to the actual place, you can still watch it online live. Obviously, we would love it if people actually showed up, but if you can't, no problem. And if you can, well, it's a great excuse to leave work early on a Friday, so there's that. Now, if you're the kind of person who needs constant reminders about things like me, then please do yourself a solid and go follow us on Twitter. You can find the show on there at Detoid Show. I am Tara Longest, and you're also on there at Max Scoville.
Max Scoville.
Yeah, we're going to be tweeting out constant reminders as the day nears. And I will probably be sick in my bathroom most of the time. So look out for those. I get really nervous about this kind of stuff. I'm sorry. I'm sweating right now just
I'm
thinking
excited about it. We get to just hang out and high-five each other, and I'll probably get sick because I have the immune system of like a
tiny
premature
bird.
child.
Yeah.
Like a sick bird that someone touched.
So super excited about that. That's on Friday. In the meantime, we'll be back here tomorrow with more video game news. So
You guys have a good night.
good night.
Don't cough on them.